Hello. So, how is the audio video? Can you just give me a feedback so that I know if audio and video is working or not? I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but I hope you can. Can you hear me? If someone hears me, can you put something in the chat? Like a confirmation of the because I'm doing live stream almost after a year, so I'm not sure if everything works perfectly or not. So just send me a message if you can hear me, like the audio and video, everything is fine or not. Could you please send some message if the audio and video is fine or not? Can you hear me? I'm still waiting just to get a confirmation of my audio and video. I checked in the phone, it's working fine, I think. So yeah, I will start with first question that I've got from before the starting of the live stream, because this is like a broad live stream. It's not about PhD, masters or anything. It's about study abroad. So Arup Ratan Sahu, in all these three questions, he wanted to know, like, if you do a PhD from here, like from outside India, from abroad, then what's the future when you go back to India? Maybe you go back to India in academia or you go back in industry. So what's the future there? Thank you for all the confirmation. I see that Pankaj and Akanksha have said that they can hear clearly. So thank you. So I'll just start. Yeah. So it's a very tough question, Arup Ratan. First of all, the question that you asked about whether what happens when you go back to India, because I'm also navigating that same boat. I'm in the same boat because I have plans to go back to India in a few months, maybe latest by 2024. And I finished my PhD in March 2022, last year in March. And after that, I'm doing postdoc. So my plan is also to go back to India. And currently, I have already more than 1 year experience postdoc. So whatever experience I have till now, I can tell you from that is that don't go back immediately after PhD, even if you go for industry or anything, or academia. So try to have a postdoc experience, some postdoc experience, if you want to be in academia, or some industrial experience before going back to India, which will be really, I would say, good if you want to um, be in any field in India. And about whether you need contacts or not, that I also don't know. So I have started already like 3-4 months before applying in academia in India, because of my plans, as I said earlier. So I also don't know how easy or how hard will it be going forward. But whatever I have noticed till now, I can tell you some short brief experience is that it's not that flexible in India, because my PhD field is very interdisciplinary. It's not fixed computer science. It's like human computer interaction, computer science, some bits of psychology, educational science, educational data science. So yeah, so that's the thing, like it's not that flexible, whatever I've noticed in this few months. But coming ahead, like in the upcoming months, I hope that by the end of this year I have some good news of getting a good position in India, and then I can share my entire experience, what were the positives and negatives of uh, doing something in India. Like, I mean, if you go back from abroad to India, what was my experience? Yeah. So yeah, I don't have any more questions apart from Arup Ratan. So anyone else, if you have any question about study abroad, do post them here. I don't have a fixed plan how long this stream will be, but probably it will be of, I would say, like 30 minutes if there are less questions, or even less. And if I get more questions, which I don't see at present, because this was a very unplanned stream, I announced it only 3 hours before. Yeah, next time I will plan it beforehand, but this time it was very spontaneous, and I just planned it immediately that I want to do a live stream and I wanted to share with you, because I haven't met you in live almost more than a year. So I just wanted to see who all can join, and if you have any questions. So I'll be waiting few minutes. If someone has any question, you can answer. You can ask your questions here in the chat. Sabarish, good evening. Yeah, it's evening here. That's true. So, where are you now, Sabarish? Are you in India or are you in Europe? Actually, this time I did not want to have a lag with the stream, because with this high speed internet that I have in Germany, I'm first time streaming it. So I hope you don't get any lag this time in the live stream. But the thing is, like, that's why I have added a 30-second delay. So whatever I'm saying now, you hear after 30 seconds. I have heard somewhere that if you have some delay, then things get faster. Everything seems to go faster. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. And as you can see, the chat is in subscriber only mode. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you need to first subscribe and then wait 1 minute, because that's the threshold that I've kept, the minimum threshold. So if you have subscribed to the channel and you are a member for 1 minute, you are a subscriber, then only you can post your questions. And if you are already a subscriber, you can already post your questions. It doesn't matter. And by the way, if you're wondering what's there in the top, the Calendly link, that's actually if you want to have a one-on-one chat with me personally by face-to-face video call, then you can always book an appointment. There's a possibility using the Calendly link on the top. So that's why it's there. And if you haven't liked the stream yet, please like the stream, because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. So even if you like it and you don't press the like physically, it doesn't recommend to other people, and it also gives me motivation of helping you out like this, so that the videos are suggested to the people and you can also share with your friends. So I have now a couple of questions from Pankaj and Sabarish. Pankaj is saying, I have 4 publications in reputed journals like MDPI, ACS. Is this sufficient for PhD admission? So I don't know how much impact factor they have. I'm assuming, as you say, they are reputed, maybe they have at least impact factor of 2 or 3. I would say if it is greater than equal to 2 or 3, because it varies from field to field also, but in our field, in some new fields, something greater than equal to 2, 3 is really, really good. So then if you want a PhD admission, and if you already have at least even one journal in a good impact factor, that is already good. So if you are saying you have 4, that's, I think, is really great. Like having 4 publications in reputed journals, which is really great. So yeah, getting back to the question by Sabarish, I'm planning to do MS PhD in energy systems or related to renewable energy. Kindly let me know the scope and future prospects. So you can check 2 videos on MS in something related to renewable energy. I think that I made a video interview with someone from TU Delft If you type in Google like renewable energy or sustainable energy, I don't remember the exact name of the video, but if you type sustainable energy or renewable energy space SambitPhD in the YouTube search, so anything that you want, any topic that you want, if it is covered in my channel, if you cannot find among all these videos because it's not well organized, then you can just put the term space my channel name SambitPhD in the YouTube search, and you will definitely see that video or those couple of videos, and you get to know about it. I think it was with Mrinal, if I remember correctly, because it was long back, I'm not sure. You can also contact him to get a clear idea. His contact details are in the video description about sustainable energy, renewable energy, whatever, because I'm not from that field, so I cannot comment on that. So I'm planning to do MS. Kindly let me know the scope. Yeah. And if you come to Netherlands or I think all the Scandinavian countries, you have a bright future. So in general, broader sense, I can say that renewable energy has a very good future in these specific countries where it is adopted a lot. There are a lot of industrial projects and high demand. So Akanksha is asking, can you tell me the procedure of getting admission in PhD microbiology from a reputed university abroad? So Akanksha, as I have said in many videos, if you see the playlists, obviously you need to shortlist which are the good universities in microbiology, have a pool of universities, and go mainly focus on the motivation letter or the cover letter. There is already a video on that which is really helpful, whatever I have heard from people. It's not that I have made the video, that's why I'm saying it's really helpful, but it's really informative and helpful, very short video which gives you an idea about how to write that with a nice example of my motivation letter and why I wrote these paragraphs, what was the meaning, how I connected those paragraphs to make a nice story out of it, which is really, really important when you apply for a PhD. So yeah, so I think you need a good cover letter, good recommendations, cover or motivation letter, recommendations. And apart from that, you would need probably, if you have at least one publication, it will be very highly recommended. And some decent CGPA, not like super high, but at least 7.5 or greater than equal to 7.5 or 8. Then you will probably be through across all the good universities threshold that they have for a CGPA. So I think if you have that, then just go ahead and start applying, because most of the PhD applications abroad in these European countries, you also get a salary. It's like a job, and it's a free application, and it's available all around the year. It's not like US where you are a student that you need to apply in fall or spring. Here you can apply all around the year whenever you have a vacancy. So just go ahead and apply. Okay, so Pankaj, coming back, because I already answered his question, but he's just saying, so whatever I read from here, it's a very good impact factor, because you say it's 5.1, 4.2, 3.8, which is really, really good. Like, that's a very good impact factor what you have, Pankaj. Very nice. Arup Ratan again. So you can check the video in the beginning if you haven't yet. I've already answered all your questions that you asked in the beginning before the starting of the chat. Just replay it again if you haven't yet. And you have some more questions. Arup Ratan seems very concerned about his academic. It's really good that you have more questions. So he's saying, I also hear from seniors that from private institutions, they don't give a good salary. Is this true? Whether you have a PhD or postdoc, is this true, sir? So when I am applying for applications now, I also, like, again, putting into context for new viewers who are joining, I have already finished my PhD here last year in the Netherlands. Now I'm doing a postdoc in Germany in the field of educational technology and artificial intelligence. And my plan is to go back to India in a few months. So I'm already applying for positions in academia in India. So that's why Arup Ratan is asking. I also hear from seniors that private institutions don't give a good salary. So it's not completely true. My experience while applying for different positions is that many private universities, good universities like BITS Pilani, BITS Hyderabad, VIT, many other good private universities in India, whenever they advertise a job position for assistant professor, which I am currently applying because I am having some postdoc experience here, they give the same salary that you will get in IIT or NIT, although the perks might vary, like how much house rent allowance you'll get, that varies slightly. But the main salary level, that's like, I think it's called pay grade, based on the 7th UGC scale, 7th pay scale commission scale. It's same, like it's what the government institutes give, they also give the same. So if you go to any good private university, they clearly mention the pay scale. I have found it exactly the same, only these allowances vary a lot. Sometimes like in BITS you even get more allowances compared to being in IIT or NIT. So it really depends on which private universities you talk about. It may not be true for all private universities, but most of them give the same government pay scale. Mrina Kumar is saying, what is the average salary after masters in Netherlands for freshers job? So after masters in Netherlands for freshers, average salary, I think I've made a video on that. I mean, that was like 2 years back, so whatever I'm saying now, don't quote me for that, but I can give you an approximate range. So the gross salary can vary between, I would say, 3,000, because now I think because of inflation the salaries have increased, so it can vary between 3,000 to 4,000 euro, the gross salary. And also it really depends if you have prior work experience, because many people have 3-4 years work experience from India and then they do masters. Sometimes they are placed in a higher salary bracket, and sometimes it is also dependent on the age that you are in, especially in Netherlands. And every country has also its minor rule. Whatever I told you gross salary, that's for the Netherlands, because if you come to Germany, I see that the gross salaries are very inflated because they also charge more tax, and the health insurance is cut from that gross salary, so that's why it looks more, but in the hand what you get, it is more or less similar in these Western European countries. So Virodha Vasam is saying, by the way, who are joining new, I'm just telling you that you have to subscribe to the channel, and then only if you are subscribed for 1 minute, then only you can post questions in the chat. And if you are already a subscriber, you can immediately post questions. And please like the video so that it shows to the people, because that's how it works. Even if you like it, you need to like it physically, otherwise it won't be recommending to other people. It also gives you motivation. And if you want to have a video call, one-on-one chat with me, then check the top Calendly link in the top. You can get everything, all the you can book a slot and have a video call with me. Okay, so Virodha Vasam is saying, I've completed my master's in zoology and plan to do PhD abroad in a specialized field like biotechnology or microbiology. So again, Virodha Vasam, if you have seen the chat previously, like few minutes before, there was someone else who was also asking about microbiology. You can also get in touch with each other. The only research experience I have is during my master's project. Okay, so your question is that, yeah, so if you see my example, even if I did my master's abroad, like in the Netherlands, in computer science, I don't really have any prior research experience. It was only during that master thesis for 8 or 9 months I had some experience, and luckily towards the end of my masters I had a publication, but otherwise I was not hoping or really working hard for that, because it was already difficult to manage the master thesis, the research in the masters. So yeah, so I think if you have that small experience during masters, if you manage a publication, it's fine. Otherwise, with that experience also, it is fine to apply for a PhD and hope for the best. Because as I said earlier, like prepare a good cover letter, motivation letter. You can find that in my channel. Just type in the YouTube search motivation or cover letter space SambitPhD. You will find that video. And also try to have good recommendations from good professors or good contacts who can give you strong recommendations from reputed institutes. Yeah, I think, and some decent CGPA, at least 7.5 or 8. Then even with that research experience without publication, you still, there's a possibility of getting admit. So don't think a lot. So Arup Ratan again is saying, and sir, I have good academic background from my BSc to MSc, but I do not have any publication. So I joined a lab for 6 months. Is this possible? Yeah, so Arup Ratan, there you go. I already answered some of your questions when I was answering the previous person's question, Virodha Bhasam. So I hope you get the point from where I'm coming from. And always any extracurricular internship or industrial R&D or institute R&D, good institute R&D, or maybe a internship or research experience abroad is always counted on the positive side. So exception is asking, Bhaiya, I am applying for PhD in foreign universities as it takes time for around 4.5 months or sometimes more than till getting confirmed. So till then, should we look for an internship or project? I would say exception that you should try to make yourself exception. So I would say, like, try to do something in parallel. Like, don't just dedicate 5 or 6 months only for the applications. As you said, applications sometimes take time. I mean, I know the average time is 2 to 3 months, but maybe if you're applying for Norway or Germany, sometimes it is 5-6 months. So on an average, you can say 4.5, but not for all European countries. It takes that much amount of time, 4.5, because for Netherlands, I know like 2-3 months are already too much. They are a bit faster as compared to other European countries. Netherlands, Belgium, sometimes it depends on the field. If you are in computer science, sometimes it is faster. So how can you be an exception? I would say try to do one thing is, like, if you are working, if you are in a working already, then don't leave that job. Do all these things in parallel. Or if you are not doing anything, then just do internship or project, whatever you find at that time. Don't delay that because your primary focus is your application. I would say application should be your secondary focus, and your primary focus should be something which builds your profile or gives you monetary incentives. And along with that, try to have the secondary focus, secondary objective of applications. So then it will be easier for you to balance and not get frustrated when things take longer time and you also hear repeated rejection in case, because it happens a lot. That's a very normal thing when you start applying for any position. So Paramjit Sharma is saying, what point should we keep in mind to avoid rejection? There are many points like that. I can tell you some primary important points, like 2-3 points. I would say try to read clearly in the job description what they expect. Normally I'm talking about PhD. Like, if you apply for masters, it's much easier because they always clearly mention what are their cutoffs. If they say that their TOEFL English test for English, TOEFL or IELTS cutoff is this, then normally if you have a score below that, then mostly you won't get admit there. Because of that, they'll just straight away reject even if you have a very good profile. So if you're applying for masters, try to take care of all these cutoffs and really focus on your motivation or cover letter. Same for PhD, not much on the cutoffs but more on the job description, because if they expect a candidate to have these skills and this kind of expertise, then try to really highlight that. If you have some of that, then try to highlight that in your motivation or cover letter and also your CV. So always, as I say, have a generic CV and motivation letter, and then depending on these specific positions, always modify, edit, proofread many times. That how you can really make it streamlined for the specific position, specific job description. Yeah. So Aditi is asking how to contact you through mail or any other DM options. I've been trying from 2 years. So Aditi, you can have a video chat with me using the Calendly link on the top of the video that you see from Calendly. Please schedule appointment there for 1 hour or half an hour, and you can ask me any questions that you have over Calendly. And if you want also to like read your motivation letter, cover letter or anything, then also you can send it to me beforehand from the appointment, so I have some time to go through it, and then I can really give you a live feedback in the video call, and we can have a back and forth discussion with each other using that Calendly link where you can book an appointment, one-on-one appointment. Yeah, I mean, that's the way. It also motivates me because I get some monetary incentive and you also get some help from me. Okay, so let's go down. So do I miss any question? No. So now I have a question from Minakshi. What is the ground reality for MSc or PhD in biology? So as I said, like, I'm not from a biology background, so I cannot say what happens in biology, but the ground reality for MSc or PhD is you need to really work hard to get in. Like, for example, these countries, my experience in Germany and Netherlands is that getting into a good university, getting accepted to a good university, even with a decent profile, anyone can get in. I feel that getting in is much easier to a good university in these European countries, but surviving during the MSc or PhD is not that easy. So if you compare to US, I feel to get to really cream good universities, sometimes it is difficult to get in US, but then the periods are much easier. But here it's the opposite. So getting in is easy, but then surviving is difficult because you really need to grind, especially in masters. You have many daily assignments, group projects, many things happen. You can check my videos, I've mentioned there what happens, because more or less you have the similar culture during masters in these European countries. So Arupratan, again, I'm very happy that Arupratan has so deep interest and he has so many questions even before the chat, during the chat, and maybe after. You can also post in the comments. I see that in the industry side. Akash, hello Akash. Hi. So Arupratan is saying, I see that in the industry side they need 2 to 3 years experience. So Paramjeet, there was a question. It vanished. I don't know. So I see in the other chat you had some question. I do have a good academic background and good number of publications. Still, I'm getting too many, even though I videos of cover letter CV. Maybe it's a case of Paramjeet, a mismatch with the job description as I described. Sometimes what happens is like you feel you are 70% fit for that position, but maybe the committee feels you are 40% fit and they have many other candidates who are better fit than you. So I always say during PhD, rejection is not more about how good or bad candidate you are. It's more about how fitting, how much fit you are for that position. So it's not really about how bad or good you are, but how fitting you are. Yeah, so you can also schedule a video chat if you want. We can have a discussion about that. So Arupratan was asking that in the industry side, they need 2 3 years experience. Okay, is postdoc year counted as an experience for? So I would say, Arupratan, blindly that if you want to really go to industry, then the best time is to go after masters or after PhD. Please, 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 that's my honest advice. Don't do a postdoc after PhD if you really want to go to industry, because once you do a postdoc, most of the time you have an overqualification for going to industry. I have seen that in among many of my friends and personal experience, and also you are wasting your time. So if you really want to be in academia, then do a postdoc, but obviously you can change your mind later, but it's better to plan that. Don't do a postdoc if you really want to go to industry. Best time is after masters or PhD. So Meenakshi is again asking, how important is a bachelor's degree college? Do they prefer student from ITDU, ISER, or it doesn't matter? So I don't think bachelor's degree is important because I got into Delft University of Technology for computer science in masters for computer science in 2015 to 17. If you check my videos, you'll know between 2015 to 17 I was doing a masters in computer science there. So I was from a state university. You can browse my CV to know which university. So I was in a state university in Odisha, and my CGPA was good. So I have felt that in most cases your CGPA should be really good, above a cutoff. And if you have some extracurricular like internship experience, some job experience, or 2 months industrial experience, that is also very counted on the positive side. But you really don't need a it's not like if you are from IIT, if you are from state university, they will discriminate you. My experience is even from a state university with a good CGPA, you can still get in. So yeah, Akash, new member. Akash is saying, do I need to show bank credit for getting PhD in Europe? No, Akash. You, as I've said, 99.9% of the PhDs here are like a job. So once you get admit in these European countries, be it Netherlands, Germany, France, then you get a salary. So you don't need to really show anything about bank credit. For yourself only, just keep 2 months money until you get the monthly salary, maybe at the end of the month, so that you can initially move in, buy some things, get a house, pay the house rent, a security deposit. It's just for you. No one is going to ask, because it's not like you're not a student, so you don't need any security, any blocked account or any money. So you just need to sign the contract, have a residence permit, then get in. And once you start getting salary, then just enjoy. Okay. Um, okay. So Arup Ratan, thank you so much also for asking these questions and making this discussion very engaging. Yeah, so I see that I don't see any more questions. I'll just wait 1 more minute, because my initial plan was to end in 30 minutes, and I'm very happy that I could answer all the questions in 33, 32 minutes. If I get more questions, then I will probably maybe wait few more minutes. Otherwise, I will stop the stream in maybe a minute. By the way, before I end the stream, I'll show you those websites. Anyone who is applying for PhD, it will be helpful for you. Yeah, you're most welcome, Minakshi. So anyone who is applying for PhD, I'll just show you these websites so that it is helpful for you. Yeah, so if you're applying for PhD in the Netherlands, then do check this website, which is called Academic Transfer. You can search based on the keywords. Also, you can set a job alert from your email ID. Academic Transfer, any PhD in the Netherlands is always advertised here. Even if it is not on the university website, you'll find it here. And all across Europe, if you're searching for any PhD, check this website, your access. Just pause the video, take a screenshot, you'll find the website. It's called your access. I will also try to put it in the chat or in the comment. Yeah, so these are the two main websites for searching for any PhD positions in Europe. And also you have Job.org, like for specifically from Norway. There is many websites in Germany, but these are the main websites like for finding these positions. Yeah, so before I end the stream, I see some more questions. Can you name some? Oh, thank you, Arup Ratan, for following the channel and making this discussion and the community very lively. So Birodha Vasam is saying how important are references. I think I already answered this question. As I've said, like the key points are your motivation letter, good recommendation. So you may call it reference or you may call it recommendation. They are really, really important. Like it's not like they are make or break, but people read it carefully when you apply for masters, and especially for PhD, they always pay attention to what people write about you during the recommendation. Because if you apply for a PhD, someone from your masters, your supervisor might write a recommendation, and even if that person is not that popular, but they will value his or her opinion because they want to know what type of candidate you are, how was your rapport with your seniors, the supervisor, and what was your attitude, how was your academic acumen, everything else. Akash Kumar, can you name some good universities for PhD in theoretical physics? So, as I have said, Akash, like I'm from a computer science background. I don't have much idea, but I know there are some good Dutch universities. You can have a look. I don't know if it is really good in theoretical physics. I know it is good in physics, but I don't know the different branches of physics. So you can check the technical universities in Germany and also in Netherlands. That's TU Eindhoven, TU Delft, 20 universities. Just have a look. But I'm not sure about that. Just you need to Google it because I'm not expert in physics. So yeah, so last question, Minakshi is asking, why are you planning to move to India? So I think I've mentioned in many videos is that it's like I have already stayed here for more than 8 years. I don't know the exact, I mean, I cannot explain the exact reason, but in short, it's like I'm already I'm already saturated with living here for more than 8 years. I'm very happy with the experience, the people I have met, the experience that I've gained, and I'm sure that it's going to help me when I go back to India. And also because I have my parents, so I'm like the only child of my parents, so that's why I also go back to India to be there with them, which is also a priority, which I feel is a priority for me. So yeah, so these are some of the reasons. Maybe someday I will make a good video once I'm already back in India. Maybe next year I will make an elaborate video like why I chose to move back and what was my experience, what are the challenges that I find initially of adjusting here in India. Yeah, so yeah, it's not a big video, but I'm happy that I could answer roughly 10-20 people's questions, and thank you so much for joining here. I'm very happy to talk with you all, and maybe soon we'll make another video. Till then, bye bye from Bochum, Germany.